Okay, hold on to your seats because this story is about to rock your world. You know that moment when everything you thought you knew just flips upside down? Yeah, that's exactly what happened when Prince Harry found out that the royal family was ready to strip him of his duke title forever. No more Duke of Sussex, no more royal titles. Gone, just like that. The drama started when Harry wasn't even supposed to be on a jet that night. Imagine that. He wasn't even planning to come back to the UK anytime soon, not this month, not at all. But then, whispers began to spread through Montecito and everything changed. Word got out, and I mean not just rumors, but action. The palace wasn't messing around anymore. They'd already started the process to remove his title, and it was happening fast. Now, we've all seen Harry react in moments of pressure, but this time it was different. When his team got the news, absolute chaos broke out. Phones ringing off the hook, aides whispering in corners, everything coming apart at the seams. The royal machine, usually so controlled, was in a tailspin. But in the middle of it all, Harry made one thing clear. He was getting on a plane to London immediately. No PR spin, no carefully crafted statement, no calming words. He was done talking. It was time for confrontation. And I'm not talking about the king here. No, Harry wasn't rushing to see Charles. You want to know who Harry was after? His brother, William, the very same brother he once looked to for protection. But now, it's all about power. You see, whispers around Buckingham Palace had been growing louder about a very quiet power shift. Charles, tired, stressed, and battling health issues, had started to lean into a more peaceful, hands-off approach. But it wasn't Charles who was making the calls anymore. It was William, the man who had been stepping into his role, more than stepping, really, taking it. He was running the show, calling the shots behind closed doors. Sources say that behind the scenes, William has already begun acting like the king. Forget about being the heir. He's calling crisis meetings, he's signing off on the major decisions, and he's protecting the monarchy's image with an iron fist. The Sussex drama? That's got to go. Enough is enough, as far as William is concerned. And if Harry thought that the brother he once relied on would soften the blow, well, let's just say he was very wrong. Now that's terrifying for Harry because he knows deep down that the man in control right now isn't his big brother who used to protect him. It's the man who will now bring down the axe. But wait, it gets even juicier. As Harry races to catch his private jet, trying to fix this mess before it gets worse, the palace is strategizing. And they're not just throwing things together haphazardly. Oh no, William, he's playing a cold, calculated game. He's got his team of legal experts already working overtime, crafting a legal path that could strip Harry and Meghan of their titles, legally, cleanly, and with no chance of reversing it. The first move? Using Prince Andrew as the test case. Not because they feel bad for him, but because it sets a precedent. The idea is that once they figure out the process with Andrew, they can apply it to Harry and Meghan. And you better believe this isn't about vengeance. It's about turning the royal family into a well-oiled machine with zero tolerance for scandal. William doesn't want drama. He wants control. As the plane soars toward London, Harry must know that his last chance to save his title is quickly slipping away. And here's the thing. Harry's not just worried about losing his royal title. No, it's so much more than that. You know what's hanging by a thread? His entire future. If they strip him of the title, Harry becomes just another celebrity. No longer the Duke, no longer the Prince, just another face in a crowd. Imagine that. No more Netflix deals, no more book deals that come with the title of royal. The entire world's perception of Harry and Meghan changes overnight. But it gets worse. It's not just about the limelight fading. Think about the consequences. Security risks? Oh, those skyrocket without the protection of the royal title. Invitations to exclusive events? They shrink. The phone calls? They stop coming. And Harry's biggest fear? That all of the things he thought he had built for himself would vanish. The Duke of Sussex wasn't just a title, it was a brand. And without it, Harry and Meghan are just another couple with a podcast. Meanwhile, while Harry's jet is cutting through the night in Buckingham Palace, Charles is facing his own battle. He's dealing with everything. His health, his son's battle, the pressure to stabilize the monarchy. He's torn. To his left, the weight of tradition. To his right, the man who's still his son, but who's become unpredictable and volatile. And let's not forget about the pressure from government officials. They're growing impatient. If Charles can't fix the image of the monarchy, they might step in, using constitutional force. And there's William, standing firm as the one who sees the bigger picture. He's not interested in all of this emotional back and forth. He's not waiting for Harry to explain himself. William wants action, proof, responsibility. That means Harry has to walk away from everything he's built, the memoir, the media projects, all of it, everything. He has to become the disciplined royal once again. That, my friends, is why Harry's jet ride is a race against time. Every mile he travels feels like a countdown to his very identity being erased. Now, the moment Harry steps off that plane, the world changes for him. If he loses his title, it's not just the loss of a name, it's the loss of everything he's ever known. The Duke of Sussex will be gone, and he'll just be Harry. No more prince, no more duke, no more royal. And what about Meghan? It's the same story. Without the titles, she becomes just another woman in Hollywood. The carefully curated global brand built around them is shattered, vanished. For Harry, that's terrifying. Not the money, not the fame, it's the erasure. The idea that everything he knew could disappear with one stroke of a pen. As the sun rises over Buckingham Palace, a new era has already begun. William William, the man who once stood in Harry's shadow, now stands tall as the man who decides the future of the monarchy. The throne is no longer just an idea, it's his. He's not waiting for it, he's already wearing it. Across the ocean, Harry wakes up in a world where his past has moved on without him, where his titles are fading into history, where his future isn't just uncertain, it's hanging by a thread. But here's the twist. This isn't the end for Harry. Oh no, it's just the beginning of a new royal era, an era where William leads with iron resolve, where Charles struggles with peace, and where Harry must figure out who he is without the title he once desperately tried to escape. Because in the House of Windsor, power doesn't whisper, it reigns. And William, he's already proven one thing. He's not waiting for the crown. He's already wearing it. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the reason all this is happening in the first place. It's not just about titles. It's about the survival of the monarchy itself. William, the once quiet heir, has seen how his family's image has taken a beating in recent years. From the Oprah interview to the memoirs to all the drama that keeps spilling into public view, there's been one lingering thought in his mind. Enough. He's tired of watching the crown get dragged through the mud, tired of seeing the public think that the royal family is a circus of scandal and drama. He wants control, he wants order. And if that means cutting off his own family, well, it's clear now, he's willing to do it. What's so wild is that for years, we've all been watching Harry try to break free from the royal family, right? He wanted out, he wanted his own life, away from the expectations, the titles, and the constraints. But now Harry is fighting to hold on to that very title that he once saw as a prison. The world he escaped from is now the world he desperately wants back. That's the most shocking part of this whole saga, how the tables have turned. But we can't forget the stakes. If Harry doesn't act fast, he could lose everything. Meghan too. Imagine what it would mean for her if they lose the titles, those royal connections, the social clout, the exclusive invites to the events that everyone else can only dream of. Without the royal titles, Meghan and Harry are just a former royal couple, stripped of the power and influence they once had. All those Netflix deals? Gone. The book deals that promised millions? Gone. The royal brand? Reduced to dust. You can imagine how this is sitting with William. He's a man who understands the weight of the monarchy on his shoulders. He's a man who wants to do more than just sit in the background. He wants to be the one to clean up the mess. And if that means cutting away the chaos, if that means sacrificing family to protect the crown's reputation, he'll do it. The monarchy must come first. That's the harsh reality of his position. It's clear now. This battle is about more than just Harry's titles. It's about a shift in the balance of power within the family. Charles, as much as he loves his son, is clearly too weakened by illness and stress to fight this battle. So what does that leave him with? A choice. The monarchy or his son. And as much as it hurts, Charles has been forced to make that call. The monarchy must come first. The pressure on him, I'm sure, is unimaginable. But that's what happens when you're in line for the throne. Everything is about sacrifice. And right now, Harry's sacrifice is the hardest one to make. He's caught in the middle of a war that he didn't create, but one that he's been dragged into nonetheless. The moment that Harry lands in London, everything changes. The monarchy he once belonged to is moving on without him. The doors he used to walk through are now locked, and the titles that were once his pride and joy are nothing more than a distant memory. Harry knows that. He knows the gravity of the situation, and it's terrifying. Because once they take away his title, there's no going back. He won't be able to turn around and beg for mercy. Once the crown removes a title, it's gone. But here's the kicker. Harry's not just fighting to save his title. He's fighting for the future of his family. Imagine this. The Duke of Sussex will become just Harry, not a prince, not a duke, just a man, an ordinary man with no royal title to back up his name. Meghan, she's no longer a duchess, she's just Meghan. And for their kids, well, the future becomes a lot less certain. No more prince and princess. No more protection from the very institution that gave them a safe haven. And when you think about it, that's the real tragedy in all of this. The titles aren't just about status or wealth, they're about legacy. The legacy that Harry was born into. The legacy that, for all his struggles, he desperately wants back now. But the story doesn't end here. No. What we're seeing right now is the beginning of something bigger, a new chapter in the royal family's history. A chapter where William takes the throne, not as the heir, but as a king in all but name. A chapter where Charles, despite his best intentions, becomes a mere spectator. And a chapter where Harry, the once-loved royal rebel, now stands on the outside looking in, desperately trying to figure out where he fits in a world that's moved on without him. This is just the beginning, and we haven't seen the last of this family's drama yet, trust me.